Round 11 NPL football as two teams at the other end of the table, at contrasting ends of the table, both looking for 3 points that could be so crucial towards their end of season aspirations here at the Olympic Village in Heidelberg's West. It is Heidelberg United coming up against the St Albans Saints on a glorious Sunday afternoon for football. To take you through proceedings will be myself, Oliver Walker-Peel, and on his commentary debut this afternoon we've got Oscar Drew. Oscar, welcome to you. How do you see this game playing out?
Thanks very much, Oliver. Yeah, very excited to be here at Olympic Village, the home of one of the powerhouses of Victorian football in Heidelberg United. As you say, two teams in really contrasting form heading into this game. St Albans having lost their last 5, Heidelberg having won their last 4. All signs point towards a Heidelberg victory, Oliver, but there's a reason we play the games, and that's because you can never know until you know.
Of course, you've got to play the games out on the pitch. Football isn't played on paper, but Heidelberg strong favourites to take all 3 points this afternoon. Starting with the starting 11s then, in goal for Heidelberg is number 1, Christopher Theodoridis. Number 2 is Josh Wilkins. Number 4, Milan Roberts. Number 5, Aidan Federhadzic. Number 6 is Lewis Hall. Number 9 is the captain, Adrian Zara. Number 10, Takeru Okada. Number 19 is Sean Ellis. Number 20 is Luka Ninkovic. Number 21 is Owen Ashton. Number 22 is Dominic Fowler. On the bench for Heidelberg is number 8, Dusan Bosniak. Number 11, Thomas Strickland. Number 12, Dion Nikolaidis. Number 18, Anthony Theodoropoulos. And number 63, Nicholas Erez. And for St Albans then in goal, they've got new signing, number 31, Hayden Brown in between the sticks. Number 3 is Christopher Dibb. Number 4 is the captain, Jordan Wilkes. Number 5 is Adam Hodor. Number 9, another new signing for St Albans is Jay Hart. Number 10 is Zelfin Azari. Number 11 is Joey Monek. Number 12 is David Sims. Number 14 is Stefan Borishevic. Number 17 is Anthony Desic. And number 19, Marko Bagaric. On the bench is number 6, Brad Murray. Number 13, Sime Bezoya. Number 15, Dimitri Paraskos. Number 20, Mate Barisic. And number 21 is the goalkeeper, Matthew Sesto. Referee is Paschalis Nartis. All in readiness then, as Heidelberg, in their traditional yellow shirts and black shorts, will be kicking from left to right, and Heidelberg and St Albans rather in blue shirts, white shorts, will be going from right to left, as this could be a crucial game in terms of the standings come September. One side looking for an ascent up the table, and the other looking to stay clear of that trapdoor, both with the same aim of 3 points this afternoon in what could be a crucial tie come the end of the season. Obviously, as you alluded to before, Oscar, two sides in contrasting form. Heidelberg can't stop winning, and St Albans in a rut as it's headed away from Federhadzic and a throw for St Albans.
Well, yes, of course, and is so often the case, Oliver, in games with teams in a real slump in form as St Albans is. The start of the game, so crucial for them not to concede early, to keep themselves with something to hang on to. And that's really the only way that they'll give themselves a shot in this game, I think.
Possession early on as it's hooked in from the right-hand side. Well claimed authoritatively from Christopher Theodoridis. Played NPL for Northcote City in 2014, 21 appearances in that year in the league. So a very well-travelled goalkeeper in between the sticks for the Warriors. Ball played long, flicked on, but it won't get to Sean Ellis, who was looking to make the run in behind. But off his line was the new goalkeeper for St Albans in Hayden Brown, whose first act he completed under no real pressure. Ball now rolled square to Milan Roberts, the one-time Canadian international. Click down the line, up towards Luka Ninkovic, who's got Christopher Dibb for company, and is forced to settle for a throw, but good work from Heidelberg early on, Oscar.
Yeah, you can see the confidence on the ball from the men in yellow already. They're pushing St Albans back deep inside their defence. And so the real challenge for St Albans is to remain compact, not let them pick holes in their defence, as so many have done over recent weeks. Conceded 17 goals in their last 5 games of St Albans. So, and with the threats of the likes of Sean Ellis and Dakota coming down from Heidelberg, well, it'll be a real test for them this afternoon. And I really hope for their sake that they can perform better than we've seen in the last few weeks.
It will be something that we'll have to watch with interest throughout the afternoon, as the chance was wasted for the hosts. Throw-in taken long down the line. That breaks in the middle, but a poor header allows Jay Hart in. Looks played out the right towards Adam Hodor, but he couldn't get onto the chance. Jay Hart, by the way, had a youth career at Blackburn, who are currently now in the Championship. Bounced around, played for Clitheroe and Padiham in the northwest of England, but now finds himself at the top division of Victorian football. Was also at Doncaster Rovers, the Australian side, not to be confused with the League One club. So another player with quite a lot of experience, but he'll need to use it today for his new club. Ball now clipped forward. Chasing with interest is Ellis, but he couldn't get there. It's now with Adrian Zara. Once again, a ball that Jay Hart's eyes lit up at, but he couldn't get on the end of it. Quite a cagey affair early on. No goalmouth chances of which to speak of, but I'm sure that'll change throughout the course of the afternoon. Adam Hodor is adjudged to have been fouled. And so a free kick for the visitors inside their defensive half. Oscar, what have you seen from St Albans so far, and have you liked their start?
Well, I really have, Oliver. They've looked really compact. They're sitting deep. They're making it really hard for Heidelberg to pick their way through their team up to this point. Of course, Heidelberg in their game last week had a really sloppy first half. 1-0 down to Dandenong Thunder by the break. They did turn it around.
The ball is whipped in towards the back post. Monarch now chases on the near side. Whips one central. Ball towards the back post is headed away. And Heidelberg have escaped danger for the moment. But an early chance for St Albans, and that might put a few nerves into that Heidelberg backline.
Yeah, sorry, but as I was saying, it's a couple of sloppy starts in the last few weeks for Heidelberg. So St Albans will take some confidence from that and some belief from the fact that they can at least hang into this game in the first half and build on that heading into the second half.
Throwing taken long down the line towards Jay Hart. The bleach blonde hair, maybe something that NPL Victoria fans are going to have to get used to, especially if he starts scoring some goals, as we know he can do. Now a free kick from the far side for St Albans, whipped in central. Headed clear at the first opportunity, as Wilkins hooks clear. Taken down by Anthony Desic. St Albans have found it tough going at the moment and would like to get the win here, because next week doesn't come much easier for them. They host Oakley next week, and we know how good they've been to start the season, especially a side at the wrong end of the table. You've got to accumulate points, something that St Albans haven't done to the best of their ability so far in the 2021 NPL Victoria season. But time is by no means running out. Chested down by Hart, who has Roberts for company. Winning out was Dominic Fowler, but not for long. Hart slips in behind, and the assistant referee has the flag up. It was Takeru Okada making the run in behind, but he'd strayed offside. And so the hosts have possession back. In fact, apologies, that would have been Zelfi Nazari. Formerly of Dandenong Thunder. Good work in field. The ball now goes out wide to Sean Ellis. Back inside to Wilkins, who looks to engineer a cross. Eventually prods the ball central. They've got to restart all over again, back to their goalkeeper. Takeru Okada, of course, does play for Heidelberg. I was looking at the wrong starting 11 when calling that attack before, so Takeru Okada is definitely a player for Heidelberg that will look to add to an already potent attack. Formerly of Cerezo Osaka in Japan.
Just noticing, Oliver, we've been talking about how potent Heidelberg's attack is, how much quality they have up top. The likes of Luka Ninkovic and Sean Ellis and Owen Ashton starting today, their top scorer. But St Albans have done such a great job at preventing the ball from getting up there to that part of the ground, which is really helping them keep Heidelberg at bay up to this point in the game.
It's been a staunch rearguard so far for St Albans, who have leaked quite a lot of goals in recent weeks, but at the moment are holding up fairly strong, but still a lot of football left to be played. There's a few sarcastic jeers from the grandstand that we are situated on to the fan that just couldn't clear the fence. The ball loops in towards the area, flicks on to good effect. Central from Ninkovic, but nothing could come with a chance, but intelligent play in the middle, nearly bringing about a chance for the hosts.
Well, the first of, you'd imagine, many long balls into the box, trying to utilise the height that Luka Ninkovic provides. Of course, St Albans do have a couple of really strong, solid-sized defenders in Chris Dibb and Jordan Wilkes, but Luka Ninkovic provides such an aerial threat, you imagine he'll be a primary route to goal for Heidelberg.
You'd think so, and now St Albans look to mount an attack of their own. Hodor from the right, whipped in central, and it eluded Borishevic, who just couldn't quite get his head onto it. But good work on the right-hand side from Adam Hodor. The ball not quite what was required from a St Albans point of view. Taken down by Bagaric. Hooks clear from Roberts. Didn't get a lot of purchase on the clearance. Chance now on the edge of the area for Hodor. Twists and turns and is then dispossessed. A good sustained spell of pressure as an infringement on the far side. Zelfi Nazari was the man impeded. And so St Albans have got a free kick. Just on Zelfi Nazari, 5 appearances for the Afghanistan national team in 2020. Scored 1 goal in those 5 appearances. And joined from the Dandenong Thunder mid-season after starting 2021 there. Now a free kick from the right. Whipped in. Flicked on, and at the back post of the chance for St Albans. that isn't quite converted. It's gone out for a corner, so that's a really good bit of defending at the back post to prevent the shooting chance, but St Albans kneeling to score there. Really was a delicious ball in. And somehow it's not been turned home at the back post. But St Albans have been impressive in defence so far this afternoon. Can they land a counter-punch of their own from this corner? It's whipped in, and Theodoridis should claim. Does so, and can now start a potential counter for Heidelberg. Good ball forward. But good work from Monek to get back on defensive duties and disrupt the attack for Heidelberg. As that attack did look promising.
I mean, as you just alluded to, Oliver, Joey Monek, such an integral part of the St Albans team, not only in his attacking threat and his darting runs and energy that he provides up top, but so good at tracking back, and that's the kind of effort that will get St Albans some result from this game today.
It really was a great piece of work from Monek. He did well to get back and cover. As Heidelberg will look to break down this St Albans defence. On the turn was Ellis. His pass forward was blocked. And there's a foul on the near side. Wilkins was wrestled to the ground by Joey Monek, who we've just been singing the praises of. This time a little too overzealous in the challenge, and so gives away a free kick.
Well, they did score right at the start of the second half last week, Heidelberg, from a Sean Ellis free kick from quite a similar position to this. So St Albans will be wary of the threat that this team poses.
It is Ellis to whip it in. Decent delivery. Headed goalward, and it's gone in. But the referee has blown his whistle. And it's an offside decision on this near side from the assistant referee. The Heidelberg fans were celebrating, but those celebrations were short-lived. Prodded in at the back post, but the goal won't stand, and the scoreline remains goalless. Oscar, you've seen the replay. Do you see anything that would affirm the assistant referee's viewpoint, or not quite?
Well, it is a bit hard to tell. It was a real scramble in the box, bodies and arms flying everywhere, but just observing that that really was nearly a carbon copy of the goal that Heidelberg scored at the start of the second half last week. And so St Albans will be really disappointed. Kruni Razov will be hoping that his team can perform much better in defending set pieces in the future.
So Heidelberg just moments ago had the ball in the back of the net, but got no reward to show for it, thanks to the assistant referee's flag on this near side. But promising signs for the hosts nonetheless. As now a free kick from the opposite side. Whipped in central again. Attempted flick on from Hall. Breaks kindly for Zara. Looks to drive in. Ball central. Is well claimed by Brown. There was a plethora of options in yellow in the middle, but none of them could be found. This ball is forward towards Hart. Flicked on. Chance maybe for Monek to get onto this one. Pulls it square. Chance for Nazari. It's Monek who plays it over the bar. Really good bit of work by Monek and Nazari to set the chance up. But a rush of blood and the chance dissipates. And Monek really should do better.
Well, just a more general observation, Oliver, that kind of attack really representative of the kind of opportunities that St Albans will be looking to create in this game. They've got a small forward, they've got a small attacking side, the likes of Jay Hart, Zelfi Nazari, Joey Monek, small, diminutive, energetic players trying to counter the strength and size of the Heidelberg defence, and that's the kind of opportunity that they can create today by catching them out, quick on the counter, and using their pace and guile to create opportunities.
Just seeing the replay back, Monek had got himself into a really good position, just plays it over the bar. Now a chance for Ellis possibly in behind, but Brown got there ahead of the Heidelberg attacker to sort it out, and snuffle away the chance. It was a really good piece of goalkeeping to rush out and claim the ball. Because if Sean Ellis would have got there, he may well have taken it round the goalkeeper, and it's either a goal or a penalty, you'd think. Throw taken long down the line. Flicked on and then hooked away. Battle on halfway, which Fowler is able to win. Now the ball out wide. Racing onto the ball is Wilkins. Breaks into the area. Pulls one square, and a good bit of defending at the near post to block the cross. As the Heidelberg fans find their voice, it was Bagaric, the man to get back on terms for St Albans. But good work down this right-hand side for Heidelberg. Wilkins with real pace looked to put the ball into the middle. And now Ellis will look to do so from a corner towards the back post and headed away. And yet another corner for Heidelberg. This time it will be from the opposite side. "19 minutes gone here at Olympic Village, and Heidelberg potentially with a chance to break the deadlock. It's a Carter from the left. Whips one in deep towards Roberts. Heads it back into the middle. Chance now on the edge of the area, and it's cleared away. Now for Hart to chase. And it's well defended from Wilkins, but a throw-in taken quickly into a really good area for St Albans. Nazari breaking forward, has Monek to his right and can't find him. He was in acres of space, and if the pass had been executed to perfection, St Albans may have been in on goal.
Well, just so disappointing from Zelfi Nazari. He's got himself in the space. Jay Hart's done such a good job to get the throw in quick and create that opportunity, and he'll be so disappointed with himself, just completely mishit the through ball, and that's a massive chance gone begging for St Albans.
And the Saints more than holding their own this afternoon, and they'll take confidence out of this start that they can go on and maybe take something from this game. Turning away Zara, but he's lost possession. Monek's in again. Looks to prod it left for Hart, whose shot on goal was blocked. And it's out for a St Albans throw. But Jay Hart's been a real live wire for St Albans this afternoon, and you'd think he could be one to watch. Ellis with the throw. Flicked on, cleared away by Roberts. Who was born in Sierra Leone, but chose to represent Canada at international level. Only cap came against Dominica back in 2015. Formerly of the Ottawa Fury and FC Edmonton.
Just also noting, Oliver, Marco Bagaric, who just took the throw in there, the left back for St Albans, he's got a real tough task on his plate today in trying to contain the influence of Sean Ellis for Heidelberg, and of course had a horrid time last week against Avondale, having to try keep up with Yusuf Ahmed. So it doesn't get any easier today against Sean Ellis, but it's been a strong start from Bagaric, as it has been from most of the St Albans team.
He does have a soft job on his hands, but he's acquitted himself well early on as Marco Bagaric. Ellis looks to clip one in behind for Wilkins. That's an intelligent ball. Wilkins still going. Puts one in the middle and it's cleared away first time. Roberts heads it back from whence it came. Lewis Hall with time. Ellis back to Roberts. Heidelberg just keeping possession here. They play Hume City at ABD Stadium next week, so that should be one to watch. They've got to do the job on home soil here first before they can look ahead to next week. Prodded on towards Nazari. He turns it around the corner for Borishevic. Hooks one towards the middle. Breaks for Hart, whose shot was straight at the keeper. And it's ricocheted off him and behind for a goal kick. Jay Hart straight back up, but it broke so kindly for him. And he'll be disappointed that he hasn't put his side in front. In fact, he's down at the moment is Jay Hart. This would be a real disappointing loss for St Albans because he has been a live wire so far. A lot of what they've done going forward has gone through him. So St Albans fans will have hearts in their mouths hoping that this isn't serious.
I mean, I totally agree, Oliver. Jay Hart's been super impressive so far today in his debut for St Albans. I've been really impressed by what he's brought to the team. But I tell you, Josh Wilkins for Heidelberg, he will be breathing a huge sigh of relief. He had plenty of time and space to control that ball in, but completely lost it with his chest, and he'll be thrilled that Jay Hart has fluffed his lines there at the end.
Will be one to watch. As the referee still intent on holding up play. Now play is restarted, and for the moment at least, St Albans down to 10. Roberts looks to switch the play. Long ball forward. Okada looks to flick it on. Now with Fowler. Zara. Ball out of play for a Heidelberg throw. Just trying to watch Jay Hart. Just see whether he will return. It looks as though he will. And he has done, so St Albans back to a full complement. And he's almost immediately in the game, looking to press the Heidelberg back line from the front. Ball and board from Ashton, who spent last season at the West Brom in their under-23 setup at the Hawthorns. A player still only young in age, but has a vast amount of experience at the Midlands club. Wilkins looking for a long throw. And towards the middle. He'll receive the ball back, looking to reload the attack, drilled in low. And that's got to be a high foot and is. Wilkins with a second chance, drilled it low. But in the end, Heidelberg unable to get a shot on goal and make a shooting chance of the opportunity, but they are getting the ball forward now. And they'll be looking to break the deadlock and get the first goal of the afternoon. Remains to be seen whether they can do so. Goal kick from Brown taken long. It's over the head of Hart as Monek looked to drift in behind, but couldn't get there. Ball now played forward. On the right for Ashton. Now with Sean Ellis. Looking to whip the ball in. Has Bagaric for company. Pulls one central and is blocked at the front post from Christopher Dibb. As the pendulum swings back with the hosts. As they have a corner from this near side. Ellis drifts it in and cleared away from Bagaric. And a really wasteful corner there.
Yes, there's another corner chance goes to waste. I'm observing how Luka Ninkovic, brought into the starting 11, having scored off the bench last time out, has really struggled to assert himself in this game, and for that, huge credit must go to the centre-half pairing for St Albans. Christopher Dibb and Jordan Wilkes have both been really impressive. They've stuck to him like a glove, and he's barely been able to get a free touch in this game.
Throw taken long. It's with Sean Ellis, and it's well blocked en route. Still a chance as Ashton couldn't communicate. Shot on goal again was blocked, and now Hart maybe with a chance to receive the ball and drive forward. He's got options in the middle. It goes past Nazari. Step over on the right, curling shot on goal is well saved. But it just shows how quickly defence can turn into attack. And St Albans nearly punishing Heidelberg dearly. Ellis was climbed upon and an easy free kick for the referee to give, but Oscar, how close was that chance?
Well, you just wonder how many more opportunities St Albans are going to get. We've seen Nazari miss his chance. We've seen now Adam Hoda fluff his lines. If they want to beat Heidelberg today, they're really going to need to be more clinical than what we've seen so far.
Whipped in from Wilkins towards the back post. Akada chest down. Looks to twist and turn. With the ball in, claimed easily by Brown. Just another lack of goals scored for St Albans. They've only scored 4 in the league this season. And they've got no multiple goal scorers. So Hodo, Dibb, Darren McCauley, who is out of the side today, and Marco Bagaric with the goals. It's a real problem for the visitors as they have got to find goals from somewhere and haven't found that easy going so far this season. Roberts, 1-2 with Ellis. Now Ashton. And that delivery isn't of good quality. Easily claimed from Brown. Now Monek to drive forward. Plays it on to Hart. And the assistant referee on the far side was quick to raise the flag. Good switch of play towards Ellis, who could take this down. Looks to beat Bagaric and can't do so. Really well defended from the St Albans number 19 as Monek now looks to drive forward. And has to settle for a throw. Game so far bereft of goals, but not so much bereft of chances. Both sides having clear looks at goal, but neither able to breach the respective defences. Monek turns away, looks to play on down the line for Hart, who chases eventually with interest, but Roberts had it covered. Nice 1-2 attempt, but it didn't pay off as Hart chases once more. He's really looking to use his pace to press, and that's something that they've done to decent effect so far in this game. As Bagaric just sees it out of play. Heidelberg have a throw. Over 33 minutes gone now and still no goal. As Ellis looks to change that. Whips one in. Header on goal from Ninkovic was saved by Hayden Brown, but a decent delivery in and goes down as a half chance.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Hayden Brown's been exceptional so far today, making his debut for the club. Obviously, lots of nerves you would imagine would be present, but he's been solid as a rock. He hasn't looked in any doubt in any of the saves or efforts he's made throughout the game, as we see yet again, commanding his defence. And if he keeps this up, it'll be a really tough job for any of the Heidelberg attackers to find their way through.
Played long, and that will go right through to Christopher Theodoridis, who played all 5 league matches before the 2020 NPL Victoria season was put on hold and later cancelled. So at the moment, the undisputed number 1 at Heidelberg. Ball played central now for Ashton. Moving forward now is Wilkins down the Heidelberg right. He really has been a playmaker so far. Has Wilkins looking to make those darting runs at fullback and try to create chances in the middle by whipping crosses in. As Ellis shields the ball from Monek, whips one in. Once again headed away. Fowler. Clipped forward, looking for Ninkovic, who'll keep the chance alive. Right-hand edge of the penalty area. Leaves it for Wilkins. Again, the ball is played away. Roberts goes central. As Dib fouls Luka Ninkovic, and a free kick in a dangerous position for the hosts.
Well, just whilst we're on this near side, Oliver, I think you're right to point out the influence of Josh Wilkins. He did have that one shaky moment at the back, but in an offensive sense, he's been fantastic, making marauding runs down the wing in support of Sean Ellis. And that's the kind of supportive play that Heidelberg need to execute in order to pick their way through this St Albans defence.
It will be Sean Ellis from this free kick, 25 yards out right of centre. Will he elect to go for goal? He does. A curling shot, saved by Brown. Almost fumbled the ball there, but in the end claimed it. As the chance goes begging for the Warriors. Zara goes forward, headed away from Ninkovic, taken down by Fowler. This is a free kick for Heidelberg. Just forward of the halfway line in an attacking sense for the hosts. Ball is drifted in towards Wilkins. Taken down by Ashton. Roberts goes forward. Fowler. Most of Heidelberg's attacks have come from this near side, and once again they tried to utilise it, but to no avail this time, and St Albans with a throw.
Yes, and the home crowd here getting increasingly frustrated with their team's efforts as they can't find a way through St Albans. So much of the Heidelberg possession we've seen has been at the back with Malin Roberts and Lewis Hall as they probe and prod to try and find any gaps. But once again, I have to credit St Albans. They've been staunch in their defence, and they've really put the challenge to Heidelberg to up their game if they want to find a way through.
Ball stays in play. Ellis looks to switch. Didn't work that time as Fetter Hadjic is now on the ball. Out wide left to Okada, who will look to produce some magic. Whips it central, it's just over the head of Sean Ellis, who looked to try and create a headed chance, but good work from Okada on the left. Finally, they're utilising that left-hand side, and it nearly pays off for them.
Yes, but what we also just saw there from Heidelberg was something that they've been lacking throughout the game, which is the quick, incisive passing. We can see when they execute it, they've got the players who have the ability on the ball to create really good chances. And so as long as they're lethargic in their ball movement, they're making that really hard for themselves. But positive signs there from Heidelberg.
They're trying to up the ante at the moment. Something that would obviously help them in their quest to get the opening goal of the game. Roberts clips it down the line. Zara couldn't quite help it on to the effect that he would have liked. Shouts for handball against Zelfi Nazari. And the referee agrees with the Heidelberg contingent and awards a free kick. The question is, will Sean Ellis look to shoot again? Or will he look to drift this one in for the plethora of Heidelberg players in waiting? Two-man wall for St Albans. Bit of jostling in the middle as Ellis does whip this one in this time. Headed clear. As it's hooked away. Nazari is fuming with that decision as he thought that he had space to move into if he was found, but it was hooked away rather erratically. And so the hosts back in possession. As we near the half-time interval, it's Wilkins on this right-hand side. Whips one central, close to the crossbar, and well claimed overhead from Brown, who didn't show any nerves there, claiming the ball. But it was a cross-turn shot that was ever so close to finding that top corner. And it's something that, of a player of that quality, you've got to be wary of.
Yes, and Kruni Razov, the St Albans coach, will be instructing his players to remain focused, keep concentrated in these last few minutes of the half. They really don't want all of their hard work in this last 40 or so minutes to go to waste by conceding a late goal.
The referee waited and then decided to give a free kick to St Albans. It looked like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It looked as though that they were wrestling each other, but the referee in Paschalis Nartis decided that there was an infringement in amongst all that. Ball played forward. Zari's now on this right-hand side, hooks it in first time. Cleared away from Roberts. Now a throw in for the visitors to be taken by David Sims. As he looks to create a chance from the right. The throw in is poor and hooked away first time by Takeo Ricarda. Has got 1 goal this season in the league. Made 37 appearances for the Wollongong Wolves from 2019 to 2020, did Takeo Ricarda, as the throw-in is taken into the 18-yard box. Zara nips in and was challenged unfairly, according to the referee. And so a free kick. Oscar, as we near the half-time whistle, do you think 0-0 at the moment is a fair result, or will one side be rather aggrieved that they haven't found themselves on the score sheet just yet?
Well, I think we've all clearly seen that Heidelberg have had the main share of possession and territory in the game. But despite that, I feel like St Albans have actually created the better chances. So I think both teams will have a claim to go into the break in front. But St Albans, considering the state of play heading into this game, I think will certainly be the happier side at the break.
That's, of course, considering that nothing changes. Of course, a goal right before the break would give whichever team gets it increased momentum. But if it does stay at 0-0, then you would sense that St Albans would be the happier of the two teams. Especially considering the fact that they've come off 5 straight defeats. Played forward from Hall. Ball now to Ellis. Roberts initially miscontrols, but Theodoridis does well to back him up, but his distribution isn't his best. Throwing taken long down the line. Headed away and out of play. Both sides will be wanting to make sure that they don't concede in the last moments of this first half. Berishovic heads on. Flicked on by Bagaric. Ellis wins back possession. Has multiple St Albans players for company. And in the end draws a foul. As Hart and Ellis look to engage in a bit of handbags after the free kick was awarded, but they both pull away as that's the first act, or the final act of the first half. A first half which has been entertaining to watch, but hasn't yielded any goals as of yet. Multiple sides having multiple chances as Nazari and Monek showed their quality up forward for St Albans, but they were unable to breach the Heidelberg defence, whereas Luka Ninkovic and Owen Ashton haven't really been able to get into the game for the host. Half-time here at Olympic Village And the score remains goalless. It's Heidelberg 0, St Albans 0. Back with full second half commentary in just a few moments. And welcome back to the Olympic Village, home of Heidelberg United. As at the moment, in this NPL Victoria clash, Heidelberg are currently being held by a much less fancied St Albans Saints side, who are coming into the back of this game of 5 straight defeats. But they are more than holding their own this afternoon. I'm Oliver Walker-Peel, and alongside me is Oscar Drew. Oscar, how did you see that first half?
Yeah, well, I think it was overall very impressive from St Albans and lots to improve from Heidelberg. But I've alluded a couple of times to their game last week against Dandenong Thunder Heidelberg, where they were 1-0 down at half-time but came back to win it 2-1. Scored just a few minutes after the half-time break from a set piece, AJ Fedor-Hadjic putting it in. So they'll be looking to replicate that kind of start in this coming second half, to really put the challenge to St Albans to remain concentrated, to remain solid, to remain compact, because I imagine Heidelberg will really come out firing in the second half.
That may well be the case as Heidelberg re-emerge from the tunnel. The onus is on them to take the game to St Albans, as it's a game that they won't want to drop points in. Of course, currently coming into this weekend of football sitting in 4th, so they've got aspirations of going even higher than that and making the final series later on in the year. Whereas St Albans, a lot would have to go right for them to get there. They'd have to win pretty much every game left in the season. A more realistic aim for them would be staying away from relegation, which is possible for them to do as long as they can put in performances like this every week. Because they've played quite well in this first half without being able to score as of yet and take any chances. They've been able to quell Heidelberg's threats for the moment, and we'll have to see if that continues into the next 45 minutes. So we're back underway in this second half between Heidelberg and St Albans. Which side will get the opening and crucial goal that may well set up the rest of this game? Time will tell. It's now with Hodor on the St Albans right. Okada picks the ball up for Heidelberg. Checks and looks to spray the ball out wide. Elects to go shorter though. Fedor-Hadjic. Looking to turn away was Owen Ashton, who was fouled. And so an early free kick for Heidelberg in the second half.
And of course, as you've alluded to, Oliver, this is such a huge game for Heidelberg. Their two main rivals up the top of the NPL Victoria, South Melbourne and Avondale, dropping points this weekend. If they win today, they can go 2 points clear at the top. This second half, crucial for George Katsakis' side season.
They could reach the summit if they're successful this afternoon. A lot of football to be played, but can they get that opening goal? Free kick taken from Okada, and it's just behind for a goal kick to St Albans, who going forward have impressed me at points, but it's been their defence that has been their real strong point this afternoon, which is complete contrast to the rest of their season. The likes of Jordan Wilkes and Marko Bagaric have stood out amongst others. Headed on by Zara. Clipped down the line for Ashton to chase. And he can't prevent the goal kick. Can the former West Brom youngster? Made 3 appearances for the West Bromwich Albion under-21s in the Checkatrade Trophy in 18-19. Made 1 appearance in the 1920 season against Reading in the under-23s competition. First season at Heidelberg. Can he come up with a crucial moment in this game? Ball towards Hodor. He won't get onto it. It's hooked forward for Ninkovic to chase. He gets there ahead of Wilkes. It's a battle on this near side, and it's out of play for a Heidelberg throw. As the 12th man look to will their side on this afternoon. Quite a large following Heidelberg have got, not only presence at the ground this afternoon, but also not in attendance. Can they will their side on as the ball's in the middle for Ellis, and it's blocked. It looked as though the net was about to bulge, but a crucial block keeps the score goalless. Broke so kindly for Ellis, and somehow the score remains nil apiece.
Well, yeah, Sean Ellis has probably been the most threatening attacker for Heidelberg today. He's let loose on a number of shots so far this afternoon, and every time just hasn't quite found its way into the back of the net or past some of the St Albans defenders. But a really positive start for Heidelberg. They'll be looking to continue this throughout the half.
Akada looks to go inside. Breaks nicely for Fowler, who was fouled by Adam Hodor. The Heidelberg fans calling for a yellow card that won't be brought out from the referee, as he elects to keep his cards in his pocket. Akada goes central. Zara looking to drive forward. Dispossessed. It's now a St Albans throw. Not many fans of NPL Victoria gave them any chance of getting anything from this game, but the Saints are looking to prove all the doubters wrong. I'm sure they'd be happy with a 0-0 draw should it stay like this, and I suppose if you offered Kruni Razov a point at the start of the day, I'm sure he would have taken it. I'm not sure if you asked the same question to George Katsakis if you get the same response. As Feta Hadjic looks to play the ball on. Now with Roberts, the Canadian international moves it forward. The clearance was central and not an ideal one. Nipping in is Ninkovic. Rounds the keeper, pulls it square, and it's in from Akada. Really sloppy defending from St Albans, who've undone all their good work in the first half. Great work from Ninkovic to nip in and to roll it square for Takeru Okada to score the easiest goal of his career. And finally, after battling so hard in this first half, normality resumes for Heidelberg.
Well, it's just such impressive composure from Luka Ninkovic, the way he kept his feet and rolled it across the box to Takeru Okada, who made the gamble. He took the risk by charging into the box, and it paid off big time. Heidelberg finally break through. It's Heidelberg 1, St Albans 0.
They're able to wear down the defence, and they've broken the deadlock. A sturdy St Albans backline breached. Really sloppy defending in that instance, though. No communication whatsoever. Ninkovic saw the chance, capitalised, rolled it square for Takeru Okada, who was able to tap home. and put Heidelberg into the ascendancy. Ball clipped over the top. Chested down from Zara. There was appeals for handball that fell on deaf ears, and they've got another corner. We said at half-time that the onus was on Heidelberg to take the game on, and at the start of the second half, they really have done that. Takara Ricarda, second league goal this season for the former Wollongong player. And what a crucial one it could be. That might well help elevate the Warriors to the top of the NPL Victoria table. Whipped in, punched away from Brown. Headed back on goal from Ninkovic, it's straight to the goalkeeper. As the goal kick is taken forward to Hart, who takes it down, but in the end he couldn't get the ball under his spell. Good play from Ninkovic to find Ashton. Now Nazari looks to help it on for St Albans. Poor work in midfield, and Nazari's back on the ball. Looks in behind for Jay Hart. Got Roberts for company, who used his body so well to win the ball back. Used his strength so effectively. And it quelled the St Albans attack right there and then. But all of a sudden, St Albans have really got to go for this game now, and I sense that it will open up as a result. Cleared forward, and it'll be through to Hayden Brown.
Well, you can see how much that Akata goal has lifted the Heidelberg team. The extra zip in their step, the energy, the crowds behind them. It'll be really hard, I think, for the St Albans team to stop this Heidelberg juggernaut if they get going in the second half, which they look to have done.
Throw in for Ninkovic, who had Dib for company, who dealt with the threat well, and we said that Luka Ninkovic had real trouble getting into the game in the first half, but he did so well for the goal, and that assist will surely give him confidence. Throwing taken down the line. Helps on. Industrious challenge from Jordan Wilkes. Deemed to be a fair one. Ninkovic looking to work with Akada. The latter rolls the ball in the middle, but Heidelberg have lost possession. Really good footwork from Hodor, who goes down, but referee allows play to continue. Wilkins now for Heidelberg, looking for the run of Owen Ashton, who can't get there. Ball now in behind on the far side for St Albans. Chance breaking forward, Hodor is arriving at the back post. Will he be found? Instead, it's rather selfish play from Joey Monek, who had the run from Hodor, but simply just ignored him and may well have been better served rolling the ball square, and if it had done so, parity may well have been restored.
Well, as you've mentioned, Oliver, it'll be really interesting to see how Kruni Razov reshuffles his team to respond to this new challenge facing his team. They'll need to come out of their box and create some chances of their own, as we're seeing right now from Zelfi Nazari.
Plays the ball out wide, and Monak is able to win his side of corner. Nazari had the space in which to drive into, and he took the opportunity. Good ball for Monek, who was able to win a corner. Which will be the former Western Pride player in Selfie Nazari to whip in. Does so towards Hodor, who puts it back towards the penalty spot. Hooked clear. Put back in there first time. Bit of head tennis going on at the moment as it's chested down. Heidelberg looked to break three through Zara. Had a Carter to his left. Couldn't found him because he was fouled. And the first yellow card of the game goes to Stefan Borisevich, who will have to walk a tightrope for the rest of the game. Takara Okada from the resulting free kick. Whips went in towards the back post. Headed central. Still the chance is alive for the host. It's back with Takara Okada. Left-hand edge of the penalty area. Looks across one in towards the back post and no one was there to nod it home. Really good delivery in from the goal scorer who looked to turn provider. But no Heidelberg attacker was on the same page. And as such, the hosts were unable to convert the chance. St Albans definitely much improved, but at the moment, it's the same result as what they've seen in the last few weeks. They've hit a real form slump at the moment. And despite a better performance this afternoon than in recent weeks, it looks as though that form slump will continue.
Well, I think that's absolutely right, Oliver. For all the praises that we've sung for how improved St Albans have been in this game, they still haven't found a way to score. They haven't scored since March, and, well, stating the obvious, but they need to do so if they want to take anything from this game. They've got the likes of Barisic and Brajoya on the bench. You wonder how long it'll take for Kruni Razov to turn to those kinds of players to try and find a way through and score their first goal in a long time.
Takeru, Okada, and Ellis stand over this one. Ellis leaves it as Okada whips one in towards the back post, and there's too much on it. Just behind, harmlessly for a goal kick. As we're past the hour mark here at Olympic Village. Still time for St Albans to respond, but as you say, they haven't found the back of the net for a long time in the league. And they would need to find at least one if they are to take something from this game. Owen Ashton looks to move forward. Zara looks to prod it on to the advantage. Oh, Ashton rather. That was Ashton that was attempting to run onto it. But you'd sense that Ninkovic and Ashton and Takara Okada will be crucial for Heidelberg throughout the rest of the season, and indeed looking to mount on the goals today. You'd sense it, if they are to score again, that it will go through the likes of Okada or Ninkovic or even Owen Ashton. So a lot of players to turn to for Heidelberg. As it's now Okada standing over this free kick. Whips it towards the back post. Not a bad delivery, but it's headed away. And now Monek senses the opportunity to break for St Albans. He's fouled, and that's surely got to be a booking. And it is to Aiden Fedahadzic. He joins Stefan Borisevich in the referee's notebook. Monek to whip it in from deep. Hooked away at the first opportunity. The ball unable to be controlled by Ellis, who nips in, but St Albans retain possession. Prodded on by Hodor for Monek on the St Albans left, but he loses out. All now back in board. And an easy free kick for Pashalis Nartis to reward. And yet another yellow card. This time to Adam Hodor. So, a couple of yellow cards in quick succession, as the referee has some more paperwork to do.
Well, the real challenge for St Albans in this half that wasn't apparent in the first half, of course, the opportunities they created came from Heidelberg pushing bodies forward and leaving gaps in their defence. But that won't happen so readily in this half, as Heidelberg will play much more conservatively, you can imagine, leaving enough players back to cover any potential gaps in their side.
As that's the first change in this game for Heidelberg, and is the goal scorer to a warming ovation, who is withdrawn. Takero Ricardo goes off, and on comes number 11, Thomas Strickland. Strickland made 25 appearances for the Peninsula Power in NPL Queensland in 2020. First season at Heidelberg, and made his debut for the club in round one against South Melbourne. As it's now Roberts looking to be the quarterback here for Heidelberg. Ball in the middle, but hooked away clear from Hodor. Nazari looks to give chase, and it's a poor free kick to give away. It's a handball, and yet another yellow card. This time to Dominic Fowler. And the referee handing out yellow cards like it's nobody's business at the moment. And all of a sudden, Dominic Fowler has to be careful. As it looks like Heidelberg are readying another change. By the fourth officials board, it looks like it will be Sean Ellis withdrawn for Dusan Bosniak, but we'll wait for confirmation. The throw-in is taken short for Berishevic. And the second yellow card has been brought out, and two yellow cards in quick succession for Dominic Fowler. And Heidelberg United are reduced to 10. A really poor challenge considering the situation of the game. If you're on a yellow, you just don't put challenges in like that. And Dominic Fowler has been given his marching orders.
Well, it's just bizarre, Oliver, that kind of ill discipline from the Heidelberg team, especially Dominic Fowler. They've got the lead, they're in control of the game. St Albans are barely posing a threat in this half, and yet two silly, unnecessary challenges, not in dangerous areas or anything, has really put Heidelberg potentially on the back foot for the remainder of this game, and they've made it much harder for themselves without any good reason.
He just pulled him back there, and it's an easy one for the referee to give. So Heidelberg reduced to 10. Can St Albans capitalise and get something from this game? Prodded down for Nazari. Sprays it out wide for Hart. Looks for the run of Bagaric. Ball whips in, and Not cleared adequately just yet, but punched away from Theodoridis. And now Hodor, he's on a yellow. It's all boiling over. Pushing and shoving as all players get in amongst it. And this one could get really ugly. It was Hodor with the initial challenge on Theodoridis. And now Adam Hodor might be in a spot of bother himself. A rash challenge, and players from both sides came flying in, looking to remonstrate with members of the opposition, and it all boiled over from there. Well, the referee looked to even up the numbers and send Adam Hodor off. He was booked earlier in this second half, and a massive decision in the context of this game lies in the hands of the referee. Adam Hodor is called over. And it won't be just a talking to. 2 red cards in a matter of minutes. 1 for either side. And just moments after Heidelberg were reduced to 10, St Albans have followed suit. A red card issued to Adam Hodor, and the numerical advantage lasted just moments. St Albans now down to 10. What a crazy few minutes.
Well, it's pull your hair out kind of time for Coach Kruni Razov. His team finally given the opportunity to get back in this match, to take some control, have some time on the ball, and Adam Hodor, well, just recklessly throws himself in the way of the Heidelberg goalkeeper Theodoridis. And as I say, for St Albans, so disappointing, given a lifeline, but they've handed the control of the game right back to the home side. They'll do well to bounce back from this, I think, Oliver.
They were given a lifeline, and just as quickly as they've received it, they've thrown it away. Rash challenge from Adam Hodor, who you'd expect to display such experience in that moment, came flying in, impeded Christopher Theodoridis, and in the end there was only one decision for the referee to make, and that was to give Adam Hodor a second yellow, and thus he has now been sent off. Flicked on by Ninkovic, looking for Ellis. Keeps the ball in play. Chance for him to cross. He does so, headed on from Ashton. Chested down, now with Wilkins. Can he now put the ball in? The answer is no. It's now out for a goal kick. This one really has ramped up. After a relatively quiet first half, you can say the absolute opposite for the second. As the ball is played out wide towards Hart, who takes it down. He's got the overlapping run, which he ignores, goes infield and looks to shoot. And it's well off target. Someone of Jay Hart's quality will be very disappointed that he hasn't done better with that. But still, St Albans will not lie down.
Well, perhaps there is hope yet. The fact that it's 10 on 10 may lead to some more gaps opening up in both teams, which may be the way through for St Albans, but of course, conversely, provides a much greater opportunity for Heidelberg to score a second, and you'd imagine put the game to bed.
It goes without saying, but the next goal in this game, if there is to be one, will be crucial. If St Albans were to get it, they'd have their tails up, looking for all 3 points. If Heidelberg were to assume a 2-goal cushion, then you'd sense the game will be done and dusted. Now, Monek for St Albans. Gives the ball away poorly. Zara back to Roberts. Driving forward is Ferahajic. Now back with Zara. Across to Ferahajic, who looks to unlock the St Albans defence. Played on to Ninkovic. Looks out wide for Wilkins to put it in central, and it eludes Sean Ellis, who jumped but couldn't get high enough. As Zara looks to play one over the top for Wilkins, headed back into the middle. Ninkovic keeps it alive, and the shot is blocked. It was Ashton who put the shot in, but it was blocked instantly. There are appeals for handball from the St Albans players, but they were waved away. Ferahajic goes to Hall. As Heidelberg look to restart the attack. Strickland won't get there though. That was way over hit. And a throw for St Albans.
Well, I just have to question the St Albans bench. There's only finally now some movement from their substitutes, but you'd think that someone like Dimitri Paraskos or Sim Brajoya, this would be prime time for them to come on and make a difference. Brajoya was excellent off the bench last week, and you have to think that someone like him might be the key for St Albans.
As you say that, there is a substitution now happening, but it is a Heidelberg one. Sean Ellis is off. I alluded to it before, but it's only now happening. It's Dusan Bosniak who's now come on for the hosts. And with just under 15 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, time becoming of the essence for St Albans, but they've still got enough time to grab a goal and get themselves back into the game. Nazari was fouled. A decision which the Heidelberg fans obviously disagree with, but the free kick is wasteful. It was in the direction of Joey Monek, but in the end it was wayward and out for a throw. And for a side looking to chase the game, that's really poor.
Yes, you have to wonder whether the St Albans players tiring out there at the moment. They defended so well for the first half and so consistently and solidly. And this second half, so much has been spent chasing shadows. You have to wonder whether the likes of Jay Hart, how much do they have left? How much does he have left in his legs, rather? Here's another chance now, though, for the away side.
Moving down the left is Monek. Whips on central, but easy for Theodoridis to claim. For being honest, he hasn't had too much to do all afternoon. And for the last 10 minutes, just over, plus stoppage time to go in this game, Kruni Razov will be looking for that to change. Hooked forward from Theodoridis, flicked on from Ninkovic, who got the assist for what may well be the winner from Takeru Okada. All the work was done by Ninkovic. Who showed his class to roll the ball square for Okada to tap home. That goal may well prove pivotal in the context of this game. And if the result stays as it is, Heidelberg would move to the top of the NPL Victoria table. Something that would, of course, delight manager George Katsakis.
Just noting, Mate Barisic has come off the bench now for St Albans. Hope maybe he will be the one to finally find the breakthrough. He's an aerial threat. He's a big body. possibly Coach Krinirazov will be hoping he can muscle his way through the tiring Heidelberg defence.
Anthony Desic is the man that he's replaced, who really wasn't able to work his way into this afternoon's clash. Can Mate Barisic do the opposite and drag his team back into the game? With Ninkovic, who does well, looks to play the ball into the middle, but then they must settle for a corner. The man in the box was the substitute in Bosniak, but he couldn't get to the ball. And now Heidelberg have got a corner from their right-hand side. If they're able to capitalise and double their lead, you'd sense it would be game over. Strickland goes over to take. Many options in the middle for Heidelberg. It's whipped in, and no one could get their head on it, which will disappoint not only George Katsakis, but Thomas Strickland as well, because that was a quality ball in that Heidelberg couldn't create a chance from.
Well, we've seen it a number of times this afternoon, Oliver. Balls in from set pieces that just fly over the defence and attack, out for nothing. Slight chance here, though.
Ball given away poorly from St Albans. Was Ninkovic looking to chase, but you'd sense that if you want to win this game or get anything from the game, you wouldn't want to be giving the ball away there. And giving aside the quality of Heidelberg's a chance to try and get another goal on the board. Ball whipped in from the corner towards the back post. Ninkovic with a header is just over the bar. It was headed back central, and Ninkovic just couldn't keep his header down. And you'd expect that if that was on target, Hayden Brown would have had to have worked. But in the end, it went over the crossbar and behind for a goal kick. Finally now movement on the St Albans bench. Coming on is Simir Bajoya. And off goes Marko Bagaric. "19" went up on the fourth official's board, so Bagaric, who had a quality game, now withdrawn as St Albans look to try and grab an equaliser. Looking to drive forward is Barisic. Looking for Hart, who looked to the linesman, who was just waiting for him to raise his flag. Initially delayed it, but then eventually did so. What do you make of Jay Hart's first appearance for St Albans? He's been decent in my books, but how have you seen him play?
You know, I totally agree. He's provided fantastic energy up top, and I think especially in the first half was a real threat on the Heidelberg goal. I think somewhat understandably his influence has waned a bit as this second half has wore on. It's been a tough half for St Albans, chasing shadows, as I've said, for much of the half. And I think somewhat we can understand why Jay Hart is perhaps running a bit out of legs as we near the end of the game.
Headed on into the path of Owen Ashton. Looking to whip one in. Too close to the goalkeeper in Hayden Brown, who catches under no real duress. Clears the ball downfield towards Hart, who may well benefit from this ricochet. Barisic rolls it into the middle. Turning away is Bajoya, the substitute. It's Barisic. Looked to play the ball out wide, but in the end, wins the throw. Hart takes. Throws it short for Nazari. Back with Hart, who switches the play. Will it be effective? Taken in board. Played short to Bajoya. Looking to twist and turn. Good ball inside. Chance for St Albans. Probably central for Hart. It's deflected en route. And it is in. St Albans, out of nothing, have restored parity. And Jay Hart on his debut will claim it. The former Clitheroe and Paddington player from the northwest of England comes to the southeast of Australia and makes his mark on this game. Deflected en route to goal, and out of nothing the game is level. St Albans may well still take something from this game and prevent Heidelberg the chance to move to the top of the table.
Well, hasn't Jay Hart just made me eat my words? I'm here saying he's running out of legs and doesn't have much left in the tank. He's here picking up on a loose ball, using his striker's instinct to put away the goal. Credit to Sim Brajoya, who comes off the bench and makes an impact as he did last week. The changes have paid off for Kruni Razov. St Albans, perhaps a bit fortunate if they can come away with the point from this game, but at least now they've got something to hang on to as we head into the final 10 minutes or so.
The former Blackburn Rovers youngster coming up big here in Heidelberg. The ball took a massive deflection, but he'll claim it. As Ninkovic heads it towards goal, it just goes over the top. Heidelberg nearly with the instant response. And it had Hayden Brown scrambling. It had him beat. And it just drifts over the bar to the dismay of the Heidelberg fans.
You're right, Oliver. These fans in anguish at the moment. They're potentially missing their opportunity to go 2 points clear at the top of NPL Victoria. These kinds of chances don't come around too often. They'll be desperate to find a way through and come away with the 3 points. You'd say that based on their second half performance, they probably merited that, at least.
Brown clips it forward. What a crucial moment that goal may be. Headed on by Ninkovic into the path of Bosniak, the substitute. He couldn't get on the end of it, though. Throw in taken long down the line. Ball played out wide. And it is now back with Theodoridis. Heidelberg would move up to third. They would be kept off the top on goal difference if the result stays as it is. But a winner for the Warriors, and they would assume top spot on the table. Can they now find the winner? Or will it be St Albans to get the fatal blow at the 11th hour? Battle in midfield. It was won by Heidelberg initially. Ball was played forward, and the referee spots a challenge and once again tempers flare. A yellow card is dished out all amongst that. In fact, there's two. One for either side. The referee has been busy. He's awarded a lot of yellow cards this afternoon. But now a Heidelberg free kick from the right. One that could prove so pivotal with only minutes remaining. Will it amount to anything? Ball in from the right towards Ninkovic. Heads it towards goal, but once again, it's over the bar. Once again, he couldn't keep his header down. And once again, the chance goes begging.
Well, they haven't been all that great from the set pieces today, Heidelberg, but they just need one to work, and that might have been the one. They've got some really impressive tall timber up there, the likes of Lewis Hall and Malan Roberts, the centre halves, and of course, Luka Ninkovic, whose threat has increased in the second half, but and did, of course, set up the goal for Heidelberg, but has ultimately been unable to get a goal of his own this afternoon.
Just over 2 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Any goal now, you'd sense, would have a massive bearing on the result of this game and probably provide whichever side gets it with all 3 points. Hart has swapped wings. Looks to play the ball over the top for Mate Barisic. Takes it down. Can he engineer a shooting chance? It's blocked en route by Feder Hadjic. Zelfi Nazari looks left. Finds Monek. Whips the delivery in. Barisic heads the ball. It stays in play. And he keeps it alive. Still with Barisic. As the sun beams down on Olympic Village. The ball short was poor. Nazari nipped in. Winning the ball back was Strickland. Wilk steps in. Was he fouled? Yes, he was. What's the referee's verdict? Is a yellow. And Wilkes is down in a heap. But once again, the referee had a massive decision to make and only brought out a yellow card.
Well, you have to admire the way St Albans are going about this game, coming up against one of the top teams in the competition on the terrible run that they've been heading into this game. They're going for it right at the death, despite having snatched an equaliser. But they still think that they're good for all 3 points. They're still going for it, and it's making for fascinating viewing for us neutrals.
What a way to close out the round. A bumper match on your Sunday afternoon. Can St Albans grab a winner? Drifting towards the back post. Well claimed from Theodoridis. Heidelberg can't be happy with the point. They've got to go on and try and win it. Flicked on. A chance potentially for Heidelberg. As the pressure moving forward was from Owen Ashton. And it's a goal kick for St Albans. As we move into stoppage time. Has the chance for Heidelberg to reach the top of the table, eluded them. There's another 4 minutes to be added. 240 seconds for Heidelberg to save themselves in this game and reach the top of the table. Hayden Brown will be booked for time wasting, but I'm sure he won't mind. He'll take one for the team. He clears forward. Headed back from whence it came. Feder Hadjic lets the ball disappear out of play. The Heidelberg fans still believe. They're willing their team on to get a winner. A game which they were expected to win and win well. They're on course to fall short of that objective. Wilkins with the throw. Taken long into the area. High ball headed on. Headed towards goal. It's blocked en route. On the volley from Ashton. Blocked away. At the back post is Bosniak who volleys towards goal, but it's way wide. And the chance goes, and has the chance gone, for Heidelberg to find their way to the top of the table, Oscar.
It just might have a few of the fans starting to head towards the exit. There could still be time for maybe one more opportunity. You saw Dusan Bosniak, the substitute, having his chance there. There's still time, I think, but they're going to need to be pretty good from here, will Heidelberg.
It's last chance saloon you'd sent in this game. They've got a throw. A goal would send the home fans into raptures. And would leave St Albans heartbroken. They've toiled so hard in this game. They deserve a point, but they're of course not entitled to it. You'd think there's only one more chance for Heidelberg, and they're going to have to take it. Only a minute left to go of the 4 allotted in stoppage time. Hall rolls one square to Roberts. He knocks the ball forward. Headed away, down towards Nazari. They win back possession though to Heidelberg as Strickland plays forward. Ashton. Ball forward now for Bosniak. Looking to roll one central. Roberts. They're going to have to get the ball forward, Heidelberg. The fans know the urgency. The players know the urgency. Forward towards the back post. Breaks for Zara. Can he come up with a captain's goal? Hooked clear. The clearance is blocked. Taken down by Strickland. And the ball out wide is behind its intended target in Feder Harjic. And is that it? Good game awareness from Sims, who goes down. And he knows that they may well have grabbed the point with their first goal since March. And with his first game for the club, Jay Hart with the instant impact. With his first game at the top division of Victorian football, may well have grabbed this side a point. Still the referee doesn't blow his whistle. Zara, the switch of play is on, but it was too long for Wilkins. And Brown can take all the time off the clock. He picks up the ball. The referee blows his whistle, and that is full time. A disappointing afternoon for Heidelberg, who have squandered the chance to move to the top of the NPL Victoria table. A resolute St Albans side deserved a point. And they get their first goal since March. And their first point in 5 games. 1 point out of their last 15, but a point which they richly deserved. And Jay Hart, after his shot was deflected en route, foxed Chris Theodoridis. And in the end, that was enough for a share of the spoils. Oscar, do you think that St Albans deserved it? Or were they looking to get away with a point?
Well, I mean, first of all, Oliver, just a fantastic game of football, I thought. Contrasting first and second halves. The second halves full of drama, full of tension. St Albans will be thrilled to have finally broken that goal drought. You could argue that based on their first half performance, they did deserve a point, but they were probably lucky to escape with one. The Heidelberg fans, I think, disappointed to only come away with the point from that one, though. Missing the opportunity to go top of the league, but absolutely credit to St Albans today.
Heidelberg fans voicing their opinions. Apologies for any bad language you may have picked up there, because they are vehement, they are passionate, these Heidelberg fans, and they're showing it in droves at the moment. They're showing their passion and their voice, but at the moment that wasn't enough for them to get all 3 points from this game. Full time here at Olympic Village, and the points are shared. Heidelberg 1, St Albans 1. I've been Oliver Walker-Peel. He's been Oscar Drew. Thanks for joining us on another afternoon of NPL Victoria football. And we hope to see you very soon for another NPL Victoria live stream. Bye for now.